Happy Saturday, folks. We're doing the mailbag video, and I am making this video Wednesday afternoon later in the day. So if something happens with, a roster move that I didn't talk about or was not asked, remember, I made this move Wednesday afternoon. So I just going over your guys' questions that you threw out there in the comment section throughout this week, the last couple of days, and I decided to make a quick video on it. A lot of questions about free agency, of course, and the draft. So as we all know. But before we get into this bad boy, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and comment for your question to be answered on a video. Let's start off. Will the Lions release Cam Sutton to save money? Here's the deal. So this afternoon, or earlier today, we found out that Cam Sutton had a warrant for his arrest. The time that I'm making this video, he has not turned himself in, and or the Lions haven't said anything. They haven't done a press release, haven't done anything. Now, from what we heard is they've known since, or the incident happened on March 7, and then Cam Sutton's been gone. Do I think the Lions release Cam Sutton? I personally think he is going to get released. If not already. I suspect they will want to wait, though, for all the information to come out. I think that's the best way possible, too. And I'm not sure how it works contractually if an incident happens like this, if the Lions can recoup their money. That's the biggest thing for me right now from a Lions team, is because Cam Sutton didn't play well last year. If the Lions can recoup that money, that would be a massive victory. If they cannot, that is a massive failure, because then you lose a player who you expected to start, plus you're doomed with that money. But again, while I'm recording this, nothing as new has happened from what I told you. I do think he gets released. That is my personal belief. Whether you want to wait, for the information or not, that's just what I think is going to happen, because it's not like he played that great this year. So this could be a move the Lions do make. But let me know in the comment section, should the Lions release Cam Sutton? Save some money after the incident. Let me know in the comments below. Should the Lions target a cornerback? Absolutely. Especially after this Cam Sutton news that came out. I think corner is now a significant need for the Detroit Lions. And again, nothing has happened in a corresponding move after this while I'm recording. They could make a trade. They could get a L'Jarius Sneed if they can get that money freed up. Get a corner. They could get a cornerback in the draft, or another one in free agency, or trade for another guy. It's absolutely a need. I know they probably would have known, and maybe that's the reason why we picked up a lot of veteran corners, is they known about this, and then they're going to target one in the draft. Either way, you're gonna have to get a cornerback to replace that roster spot. And if they want to do it via trade or in the draft, they could do it in the other way. But this is a need, and especially coming this season, even when we had him on the roster, we knew secondary was booty cheek. So, yeah, they're going to be targeting a corner. I don't know how they're going to do it or what they're going to do, but absolutely, it is a major need for Detroit Lions. Make no mistake about it. What corner will you guys target? Blow it in the comment section. It'd be free agent, trade, or player in the draft. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below of what corner you want the Lions to target. Mike, what position will the Lions target at 29? Okay, very similar. I think it's the same positions we've been talking about. Corner, edge, offensive line, defensive line. I'm actually going to throw a wide receiver in here now too, just because the Lions hit a lot of the positions in free agency that they already had. And Brad Holmes will do Brad Holmes things. He does what Brad Holmes wants to do, and that's best player available. So maybe he believes in his heart of hearts that if a wide receiver falls there, that absolutely could be an option for Detroit. But again, I would put cornerback as one, edge number 2 now, defensive line, offensive line 3, 4 respectively, and then you could probably throw wide receiver in after that. I think they mix best player available with position need, and if it comes together perfectly like that, that's what it's all about. That's called, like, the Lions need a corner, and Quinn Young-Mitchell's sitting there at 29. That's called best player available in a position of need. Walk up there and take that pick, right? So that's what I would love the Lions to do, is get that lucky. We have been lucky in the past. Hopefully we get that lucky again. Now, that is at 29. They They could move up or move down. We know the Detroit Lions can move up or move down. But this is for pick 29. But don't get upset if they take even tackle, offensive tackle, because the future of this team, and he could eventually, they could probably play tackle, play guard in a pinch, or especially be backup if there is a significant injury to a Taylor Decker. I'm not even going to say Panay, so dude, pretty good. But yeah, that's those positions I think the Lions will target, and I couldn't tell you who they're going to take. It's nearly impossible. Ask me in the comment section. Ask me some more questions, folks. Throw in the comment section for this video for next week. Also, what position would you target at 29? Edge, corner, interior offensive line, interior defensive line, maybe wide receiver, maybe you want something else like a safety or a linebacker. Put the position that you would like to target in the comments below. Next question here. Any more players you want the Lions to sign? Not really. When it comes to free agency depth, look, you can do any player there. A lot of edge depth. I think the Lions could go ahead and get an edge in free agency if they want, again, another player that you use for rotation. We're not talking about starter, but we're talking about rotation. They could do that. Josh Reynolds is really the only one I when I think of a name, in all honesty, because we need to get our own guys back. I think they did good so far in free agency, and now it's more of depth pieces. And there's so many different depth pieces at corner, edge, offensive line, everywhere that it's impossible for me to speculate. They could get a veteran at at safety. I don't really have a particular name right now. Honestly, just Josh Reynolds is really it. I think they did a lot of the work in free agency, and now we can just kind of sit back and see them do depth and judge what pieces they pick up for those depth pieces, but pretty good. Pretty good. I think the Lions have done a good job. I'm ready to focus on the draft, personally. Next question here, what the Lions' biggest need? Oh, I think this is corner after the Cam Sutton stuff. Corner's got to be the biggest need right now. And securing somebody that understands the Detroit Lions. I mean, secondary, because we got a lot of new guys in there, and I expect them to draft. We got to get corner. We got to. Right after that, edge, pass rush. Marcus Davenport, okay, we signed him, but do you want to rely on Marcus Davenport to be the number 2 edge? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Lions need to get better at that edge position. We did good with interior, offense, and defensive line with DJ Reader and Zeitler. Let's get that edge position. I think edge and cornerback, we're going to be pounding on the table until after day 3 of the draft. A lot of us want to see this position those positions get better significantly because they're not as good as we want it to be, and we got to get better at those positions. So corner, edge. Right after that, I think you could still go interior offensive line because of Zeitler being a 1-year deal. You can go defensive tackle as well if you want to get more of the pass rushing type. Depth there. Do you really want to rely on Levi Uzurike? And those are the big needs. Now, if you're going to go with a big need that you're not going to take in the first 5 rounds, you can go kicker. That is a pretty big need. A guy to compete with Michael Badgley. Well, that's a 6th, 7th round selection there. But it is a position of need, right? The kicker is a position of need. So those where I look at. Let's see how well has Brad Holmes done in free agency. I'm giving him a B+ right now. The Zeitler and Reader signings were big for me. Those made it. Those pushed up. I was a B. Those two pushed it up to B+. I wasn't high on the Marcus Davenport one. In the corners, I like that they picked up. I still think that we need to get, obviously, I'd like to see some better cornerbacks. I'm not really trusting Emmanuel Mosley. I'm not trusting Carlton Davis fully right now, right? We got to see what he can do. And obviously, Amik Robertson. So I think they a B+. I'm going to give it a B+. I like what they did. I think they did good. They didn't get a said player. I wanted to get a better edge rusher, a better pass rusher, somebody with more effectiveness on the edge. Unlike Marcus Davenport, who's dealing with injury and honestly didn't have a great year. So that's my biggest complaint. And look, we still got the draft. Offseason is basically 2 parts. free agency in the draft, and we're just in a week and a half into the first one. So I'm not upset at all. Wait till we see what they do in the NFL draft. Rank the Lions in the NFC North. Whew. You know what? Mike Greeny said that the Lions' time is up. Bull ass. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Right now, I have the Lions as the number one team in the NFC North. Our roster is sick. Sam Monson, PFF, says the best roster in the NFL. And they did good in free agency, and they're already the best team in the NFC. They didn't have to do a whole lot. Number 2, we got the Green Bay Packers. I think that they're solid. They're a young football team. Jordan Love came into his own. They got a young wide receiver group that's starting to get their legs through. Christian wants to deal with injuries, but they're good. Dobbs is pretty good. They picked up a hell of a running back. And so I think that, and their defense is solid. I think they're number 2. Number 3, I'm actually going to go with the Chicago Bears. I think that Chicago, they got Caleb Williams going to be the first pick. Their defense is solid. They got another pick in the top 10. They'll make some noise. They're actually going to be pretty like a team that you got to look out for. They could beat anybody, but they could probably lose to anybody because of a rookie quarterback. And obviously, the number 4 team is the Minnesota Vikings. Getting rid of Kirk Cousins was huge loss for them. Sam Darnold is not Kirk Cousins. They got to draft a quarterback, and it's probably going to be the 4th or 5th best quarterback in this draft. They did do some solid pickups on defense. The NFC North is going to be tough. I don't think that the Vikings are going to be like a 3-win team, a 7-8 win team. Bears, 8-9 win team. Green Bay could be a 9-10 win team, and Lions could be a 10-11 win team, 11-12. Like, it's going to be really close. I think the NFC North is one of the best divisions in all of football. I truly, truly do. So those are some good questions, guys. Again, blow up comments in below, and we'll pick them up for the next video next week. With that said, folks, adios.